was viewed prior to ACA that the states were responsible for defining health insurance and managing health insurance legislation. So this was a huge disruptor when Obamacare came out, and they came down to us and they said, nope, we're scrapping all of this. Everyone is following federal legislation now. And we're like, wait, what? That's not how it works. And they're like, yes, it is. And we're like, oh man. So that took me at least a year to unravel in my little brain. The advantage to this and the idea behind it was that if each state did something a little bit differently, we were all our own little experiments within the union. And that if we in California looked over at Texas and said, wow, look at their rates, they're doing really well, or let's look at a different state. Maybe that's not a good example. Maybe Texas would look at California, because actually California had some of the better management, surprising to most people, of health insurance. We had more insurance companies willing to work in that area even than we do today. We had lower rates than most of the people. We went off of risk adjustment factors to determining how healthy a group was. It would range from 0.9 or 90% all the way up to 1.1, which was a 10%, or it would be a 20% swing. So if a group was really healthy, we could discount them 10%. If they were deemed unhealthy, or a population that had a demographic, an older demographic, something like that, it would be rated up 10%. And their insurance companies would strike deals. So they would say, hey, any new groups that want to come over, we'll give them a risk adjustment, a favorable risk adjustment factor. So they might get a 10% decrease just for making a change to a different insurance company. Again, that isn't allowed anymore. All that was thrown out the window. But anyway, before that, Texas could look at California and say, wow, we really like what they're doing over there. Let's adopt some of that legislation. Why are their health insurance rates over there in California less than Texas? Let's look at that. So each state could do their own little independent thing and decide to adopt other best practices from other states. It also, I'll get into that later.